So I've been driving around in this game. The driving got a lot easier. Um, so far, I'm impressed with the game. Um, Honestly, I'm just gonna keep playing, see how it goes. But so far, it's a good game. Um, the only thing getting used to is the driving in the beginning, but yeah, it gets better as you play the game. Um, so there's a lot of things like that I like to do. For example, when I'm driving, I like to listen to The Bug. It's like a comedy show. Like this is one girl, one woman talking there on the show. Um, I kind of like her humor, um, and yeah, it's just kind of it's an interesting game. It's a little bit different from Watch Dogs 2. Um, I haven't progressed for the game so far uh, to really like see if I do like this one better than Watch Dogs 2 or whatever, but um, the only thing that I see, you don't have a phone anymore. Like in Watch Dogs 2, you had a phone that you can bring up and then you can listen to music while running or walking in the street. Um, I don't have access to a phone. I'm not sure if I'm going to get access to a phone later on, but let's just see. Let's, let's see what's going on. Continue. So far, I've been playing with this one woman, the cashier, and yeah, I've got her some dresses, some shoes, some earrings, and I still need to buy the jacket, but the jacket is expensive. It's like 6,000. Um, yeah, quite
The
expensive.
GPS history of the spider bot we recovered regularly pinged these coordinates. Our mystery witness to the real bombers must have come to this lovely, damp location several times.
Good spot to do some secret shit.
Or to discreetly dump a body into the Thames.
You must stop. So there's a lot of these self-driving cars, you see, self-driving cars. These cars are operated by CPO3. Um, it's like the operating system for the cars and the city. It's the operating system. CTOS3. Just want to make sure. Yeah, it's called CTOS. Yeah, it's CTOS3. Yeah, the CTO is the CT operating system. Um, Probably city operating system, yeah.
Look around. No stone unturned. Drone, any...
And this operating system um, that operates the city was developed by Bloom. Yeah, Bloom. And Bloom also have an optic device,
search.
which is almost like a Neuralink. Basically, that can do a lot of things, you know. So it's kind of cool to think that there's an optic now, like a Neuralink, or that basically it learns from your patterns. It learns like when you go to work, when you go home, what you eat. One of the women in the game actually explained that the optic helped her to respond to her messages for the day, and it was so good. Um, I didn't even realize that I didn't even realize that it wasn't her, replying to the messages because it was like automating the messages. Another thing that I saw here in this game is which is kind of a cool feature. Like you can't really go into this building, but now and then you see people coming out of buildings. Like it gives that vibe that the city is actually alive, but you can't go in, but you see random people just coming out of doors. So it's kind of cool. Just seeing someone pop out of a door. That's a cool feature of the game, or cool thing. Like small details. Just not having access to the phone yet. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get access to a phone. I don't know. Like walking around, I would probably like listen to the band or listen to some music. But the band is like a comedy show, podcast, or radio station or whatever. They talk about this. You see, yeah. The only thing that I don't like about it is that they should have had like some form of thing there that looks like there's something inside of this building, but it's just like a black um, background, which is like a black hole.
To keep London safe. If you see something, say something.
So far, you can basically like read people's lives, tap into their lives, read a lot about them, the background, what they're doing for a living, what they recently done. So anything weird is that not weird, but small things that you do like search for or do. They should actually can keep track of that, and it's called metadata. So it's basically like data that's like uh, just just extra data that basically tells me a little bit more about your recent activities, blah blah blah.
No, I'm listening.
It's kind of cool. Also, the cool thing is like when you like read it, you can actually see there in the background that the data is actually encrypted, and it's like while I'm like looking at it, it's just getting decrypted. It's encrypted and then it's like decrypted. So it's kind of cool. It's a cool feature, like to show that while I'm like looking into it, the data is actually encrypted, but DataSec found a way to decrypt the data. And they're like, so that's kind of cool. These guys, just to give a little bit of background on what's going on in the city, these guys are known as Albion. They're more like, almost not like the police, but it's like a security thing. They like the law. Separate from the police. They just, they're like a private security company, but all over the city, keeping law and order, whatever they are doing. But so far in the game, we have a suspicion that Albion is working with 0 Day and another like group of people, which basically they're trying to frame DataSec, which is the group that I'm in. They try to frame us for bombings and a lot of things that we didn't do. And the person trying to frame us is known as 0 Day. Well, his name is 0 Day, but I think he got that name from a well-known cybersecurity concept known as 0 Day, which basically is just what the name suggests, like 0 Day. If there's 0 days for the company to bring out a patch or a fix to a certain vulnerability in anything, like product or whatever. There's like a loophole or a vulnerability, and the company most likely, they not most likely, they don't know about the vulnerability, so they're not aware of it. So by the time they get hacked or the vulnerability gets used, they have 0 days to bring out a patch and fix. So they just have to let it slide, you know. They just have to deal with it from there on. But so that's technically what a 0 day is. Um, 0 days is quite a really um, well-known term in the IT industry, on the cybersecurity industry. The currency of the game seems like to be cryptocurrency. And yes, you get like ATMs around, well, probably not ATMs, but almost like ATMs for all. Can't find one now, but they basically, you can get the cryptocurrency there, but you can actually hack it as well. So it's like kind of oh, another cool thing is your people that works for you, that you recruited, they randomly just walk around in the city doing their own stuff, you know. Sometimes you find them at the headquarters, sometimes they just walk around in the city, which is kind of cool, cool feature. So yeah, it's kind of yeah, it's kind of cool. So you have your Albion there, you have Bloom, kind of cool. It seems like the city is also in the early stages of AI development. There is an AI called Bagley. Now, DataSec have like a version of Bagley that they hacked, that they've stolen. As you heard in the previous video, that Bagley basically said, "I'm not. I hacked, you know, AI, whatever." But it is actually hacked or stolen or whatever. And DataSec modified him to work on their behalf, like basically work for DataSec. And that's the thing in the beginning what they wiped. They basically wiped Bagley, the AI, which they basically altered to work for them. Like I said, so we're in the early stages of tech development here in this game. It seems like some people, they don't really like the AI, some people like the AI, some people have concerns about the optic, the Neuralink, or Neuro device, whatever you want to call it. Knowing too much about people's life, that some people's concerns are that there's no privacy at all, and they don't like it. But I did also mention that they said they have an optic version where the optic has encrypted communication. The communication is encrypted, meaning that the encryption is you know, private. But as we know in cybersecurity, anything that's encrypted can always be decrypted, or there's always a way around it. Honestly, you're not really truly you can't really 100% for sure say that okay, your data or communication is private. All depends on who's responsible for the encryption and what their policies and morals are. This is the digital currency banks all over the city. Aside from crypto ATM. Oh, there is an ATM. Full of Well, I knew that, but it's just kind of thought they're gonna call it something else, like a sea, like I don't know. Um, uh, yeah, so far that should that
Officers are employed to
basically explained a lot of things. Alright, and another thing on the map, you have like all these different. You can see it on the left. There's like a guy you can get. Um, the skilled operative, the spy, and each region has there's a hacker plus, there's a spy plus, there's a beekeeper plus, there's a football hooligan plus, there's a gateway driver plus, anarchist. Reminds me of a video um, that I saw about a parliament. Honorable member, what did you just say to me? Drone expert, this one might seem interesting. And then the professional hitman. Spy, a hitman, drone expert, beekeeper, gateway driver, blah blah blah. Ooh, what's that? Football hooligan. Yeah, that's about it. And all over the city you get like um, skill points that you can collect, and then you can basically you have this tech tree. Oh, not skill points, tech points. Then you have like all these different technologies here. I recently purchased this one, the Profiler. Um, Schedule and contact info exposes new ways to recruit, even for enemies of DaySec. So you basically can find ways to recruit people that's not really into DaySec, that hates DaySec or just don't like them. So far we have the cloak, turns invisible for a while. We have the non-lethal pistol. As we know, DaySec prefer you to do non-lethal activities like taking down people in a non-lethal way. And doing the lethal way, like killing people, that's a last resort. That's only when it's necessary. Chase drone hacks. Chase drone hacks can be disabled for a short period, so it's just like disabling the drones flying around in the city, you know, which is also operating by the CTOS, the City Operating System, version 3. Which you can already now imagine is already hackable by DaySec. They can already do things they shouldn't be doing. And these are partial pop drones, so I haven't really touched on this, but you can do partial missions. It's kind of cool. This is the team. I recently got this woman, Ellen Dashwood. She's an old woman, but she's like short hack cooldowns. But she's like low mobility, no cover or sprint. She can basically do nothing, just walk. Just use more like a. If you want to play her, you should be like next level, you know. Oh, a retired police engineer. You buy. She's like 78 years old, occupation, retire, salary. Holds a MSc in biorobotics from Health, owns multiple cats, mystery novel enthusiast, won 3 medals of merit from the local bingo club, operative playtime, surveillance fee, times non-lethal takedowns, stealth takedowns, lethal kills, headshot kills. Okay. These ones are the ones that's potential recruits, but you need to do something for them. Or if they're like, just like in DaySec, you have to find like a B profile, you have to find like stuff against them, probably like this. And then you have to like, going on a date with Kennedy Fanning Lover. Kennedy Fanning. Oh, you see, this guy's lover is what for Kennedy Fanning. So you go on a date, you do like things that they like gonna threaten them, and then like yeah, taking drugs, going on a date, enjoying a light meal with Sir and Watson, networking with Boris Watson, a competitor. Boris Watson, networking. Okay. Guarding at the 9 Elms Walkway, sleeping at First and Towers Block. Guarding at a known location of a. So you can do all these things. When time is right, you go and you do what it. And then you do it, and then later on, you're probably going to join Dead Um, but yeah, that's basically so far what's going on. Just had to give a little bit of a background. The driving of this game, the handling is a little bit weird, but you get used to it. The roadways, the traffic seems quite impressive. Like, the driving is similar to where I'm from. We drive on the left side. Um, so I just basically use my car noise from 10,000 drive, so it's not that hard. Switching between lanes, keeping away, stopping, circles, all those things that all stay the same. So, since this is London, uh, so the driving is quite the same as where I'm from. So it's kind of cool, and then you get these shops. The funny thing about the shops is like, I think at the previous shops you can actually go into the shop, but in this game you don't really go into the shop. You just randomly go up to a screen, and then you make a purchase. And I don't know if they just randomly deliver the things to your house or whatever, how it works. But you can't go into the shops anymore. Kind of weird. Like, it seems like they basically reallocated resources of the game, and they took away some buildings being open, and then they reallocated the resources, or I don't know where, probably the graphics. Not quite sure um, if it was like a matter of um, not having enough time. Perhaps the project was at like a certain um, deadline, and then like, we're not gonna focus on making certain buildings accessible or whatever. Kind of makes the world feel a little bit smaller. So you just like have to walk up to a damn screen, and then you just go there and then buy your stuff. So it's more not like one of things kind of things. So this is more and more like an AI, like certain things is not required anymore. You can just go up to a terminal, scan somebody, see what clothes will fit you, what size you are, and then they will basically deliver that by using the parcel living system that's in the game program. It's like what they were thinking. Perhaps they were thinking that. Alright, so. So yeah, I've just been talking about a game for 50 minutes, um, which I think was necessary. It's necessary to talk a lot about a game in the beginning, than just randomly playing it and just going through the missions mindlessly, not really understanding what a game is about and blah blah blah. You want to play a game, you really want to know a lot about the game, the background, the graphics, the driving, um, just NPCs. Um, that's important things, for an open world game, in my opinion. Um, because the other thing about me, since I'm an IT, I'm in technology, it's something things feel very outdated. I'm like, they could have done better. Like, I have this thing when I just like totally just stop playing the game. Like, I'm not even interested. It just bores the living hell out of me. Um, and this kind of isn't like an old game. I didn't pick it up, and I haven't played it because I didn't have time. I was busy with other stuff. And then the thing regarding it is that, um, from Watch Dogs 1 and 2, the driving always seems a little bit, the driving certain, things. Like, when you come from games, like GTA or anything like that, you always have this tendency to compare games like this, um, open world games to games like GTA. You're always comparing the driving to GTA. You're always comparing, shooting um, mechanics to GTA, water, graphics. Um, you're just basically comparing everything to a game like that, and then you forget that. I do think they mentioned it here that the one game was, Watch Dogs 1 is 2014, Watch Dogs 2 is 2017, I might be mistaken, and then this Watch Dogs. So it's like, you can see like GTA basically, they take years and years and years before like releasing games, so they have a lot of time to test and test and test and test. But mostly games like I've noticed Ubisoft, uh, they have really a certain time frame, and then they have to be done with the game. Then they have to push the game out. I'm just gonna get this cryptocurrency there. I'm saving up. I want to buy her a jacket, but the jacket is quite expensive. It's like 7,000 cryptos EPO. So it's like 7,000 EPO cryptocurrency. So I'm not quite sure what EPO stands for here in this game yet, but it's just almost like almost like Bitcoin, or it's just EPO, like Bitcoin, or um, yeah. They only have one cryptocurrency, which is almost that carries the same dominance and value as Bitcoin. So I'm not quite sure if people still in this game use other currencies. Perhaps they do, perhaps they don't. Not sure. Um, it's the same as owning Bitcoin and still having a little bit of worry. You're still worried. Bitcoin, it's gonna die. You know, um, and then you just keep your fiat currency. Like um, South African rand, or a dollar, or American dollar, or euros, or whatever. But uh, as you can already see, the thing with cryptocurrency is that if you start moving away from a dollar, or you start moving away from rand, or you start moving away from euros, or um, any currencies, you know, um, then you have like a world that's going to use the same currency. Like, you're not going to have, you're just going to have, for example, Bitcoin, or in this case, ETO. So when you pay someone, you're just going to pay with ETO, or you're just going to pay with Bitcoin, and you're going to familiarize. Um, the same goes for in real life. Currently, we're basically in that phase where um, we just passed a Bitcoin halving event last year around April, where I believe the rate was cut from 6 to 3 for the mining of the Bitcoin. And normally, after Bitcoin halving, the value increases um, when, like a year, like a just short time between 6 or a year from it, the value increases, and then you basically go into something called a bull run, and then we currently have different coins as well, alternative coins, altcoins, and then the money basically shifts from Bitcoin to the alternative coins, and then yeah, and then back into Bitcoin as well. And then we're gonna carry on until all the Bitcoins um, are basically mined, and then it becomes like the currency. It's like all the Bitcoin is mined, and now those Bitcoins have a value, and then it can be traded. You can basically, buy things with it because it has value. You know, um, just a little bit of background. People don't really know what cryptocurrency is. Basically, what it is. It's just basically like a secret key that you own. Um, that key contains some information regarding your wallet and a lot of things. Like when you transfer um, so you basically own a key that's stored in a wallet or on a exchange, like whatever it is, Coinbase or uh, now Luna, or it's basically stored there. Um, that's just that's just how it works. It's not too complicated. Um, and it just a little bit of background. Since you know, um, cryptocurrency is comes from cryptography, which is just a part of the IT world, cybersecurity. So it's basically it's not like encryption and decryption. It's more like hashing. Um, and I think it uses the SHA hash, secure hashing algorithm. And if I'm correct, it uses SHA-256. Secure hashing algorithm 256. So it's like, yes, so it's like hashing. Which basically means just if you change one specific thing about, that hashing, um, about that hash, it's going to have a totally different value. It's not going to be the same thing anymore. I mean, it's going to be invalid. Um, and then another thing also just about, cryptocurrency stuff is just like, the blockchain or the ledgers, the blockchains and how it works. And, uh, some alternative coins use just the same blockchain, for example, as Bitcoin or other coins like Ethereum or whatever. They have a blockchain, and then some other coins like altcoins, they just start their own blockchain. Um, but in this game specifically, we only know about one cryptocurrency known as BTO. I guess that's the cryptocurrency that survived. Um, and is now fully rotating between people as a digital currency. Um, the world is really, really modern, getting into that modern phase. So I was just thinking it's really important talking about these things because it's actually where the world is actually going now in technology. If you ask me, and a lot of people is like kind of like, you know, no, it's impossible, it can't be, but it actually is. This is where it's literally going in technology world, and specifically me that's, studying cybersecurity or trying to go into cybersecurity, um, it basically just shows you the importance of IT in general, um, networking, programming, um, the programming, for example, the CPOX, that operating system, probably was developed in an operating language, not an operating language, in a programming language, so for the CPOX, for the operating system to be developed, they had to have programming in it. And for all these little devices, these robots, drones to fly and basically to know about each other and to communicate. I'm not quite sure if they actually do communicate, but they probably do communicate. They basically make use of networking, some form of networking. Like they're part of a network. They know about each other on that network, and they probably have like an inbuilt mapping in them, so they know the routes. They know what other um, drone is flying where, and they basically manage to use of networking. And even if these people, is communicating, they probably are. I'm not quite sure what protocols they're using in networking, but sending data from that person to that person, that's networking. So networking is part of it. Programming is part of it. Artificial intelligence is part of it. They talk about big data in the game, so data is a really, really important part of the game. Big data is just basically the collection of a lot of data, collecting it, and then uh, whether the data is structured, unstructured, semi-structured, whatever. The data is being collected and then it's being processed and then it's being used to make certain predictions about someone's life. Basically predicting what he's gonna do. Um, uh, Basically just everything regarding the person. You know, um, in general. Uh, that's just big data. So it's a combination of big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning. There's not really yet AI robots walking around that I have seen yet, or I haven't like seen robotic stuff. Actually, you know what? There is no, but that's not truly fully. There isn't like really AI bots that basically can use machine learning and AI basically to really make human that I've really encountered where I've been talking to an AI bot and then the bot basically takes my input, processes it, and then um, gives me an output that's considered ethical and considered have like that follows in the policy of the company that basically made the robot. For example, I don't know, a certain rule or policy or whatever can be that the robot is not allowed, to hurt the person. It's not allowed to hurt human beings, no matter what. Haven't seen that yet. Perhaps, yeah, perhaps just that. Those things, the album, the terrorism drones and all of this driving around. You get these free Wi-Fi spots here, which I think will probably be a thing in the future. The only concern about this from a cybersecurity point of view is like, it's a little bit, I'm not quite sure how, um, I won't fully really trust just randomly going to a public free Wi-Fi spot and just connecting to it. Perhaps if this range is like really, like, seriously did my scooter, or whatever, you can stay there. Like, wait, go. Like, the thing is, it doesn't seem like that. So it seems like this Wi-Fi does have like a. this Wi-Fi does have like a wide range. So it's not
Hello
just,
and welcome back to the upload. In
oh wow,
this episode,
just wanna turn this off. So it's like, it's not like you basically just like go in here and then you just have like Wi-Fi in this small area. It's just like a small area. I can actually see where you basically like step into here and then you have like Wi-Fi, but only in a very, very, very small range. Like just inside of this thing. Um, because the problem is with these things, like the base one, they have like a long range, and you're just like random walking. You will basically see, Wi-Fi popping up everywhere. You know, Wi-Fi access points popping up everywhere, and then that raises questions like, um, uh, what if you perform? I'm not gonna say if you perform something like an evil twin or whatever, like basically creates your own fake Wi-Fi. Then this person here connects to your Wi-Fi, and they're actually thinking that they're connected there, and then they do things on your network, you capture their data. Um,
we're
that's
talking
that's
about
that's that's a
CTOS
concern.
3.0.
Um, Between uh, evil twins and middleman. That's something you have to think about. We were introduced to rootkits um, in our way in this game in the beginning. So it's kind of rootkits is a term used in cybersecurity in our way. It's part of malware, which is just like a broad thing for different uh, things, like rats, rootkits, anything malicious that has malicious intent. Ooh. Um, yeah, so for um, I am impressed. I've had fun just driving around the city for a while, just getting used to the driving, you know. Um, the running is good. Um, they did talk about I've heard a radio station talk about the cars that's been operated by the CBOS, the city operating system. They basically did talk a lot about the cars. Um, uh, some people don't really like it because they feel like that, the operating system is a little bit of, this is a bad driver because there's more accidents because of the operating system making really bad choices. So some people are against self-driving cars because as you can see, this car over here, probably, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it's a self-driving car, and there's no one in the car. So some people believe that self-driving cars um, is a problem. Um, so yeah, so it's like now you think about now you're like, oh, it's not thinking about this, this car basically knows about this car, and this car knows about that car, and if you see on this car, it has like a Wi-Fi signal there, or well, not a Wi-Fi signal, just a automatic. But I just want to see where was it. Yeah, but the bikes also. There's no self-driving bikes there. Because one guy basically said that he prefers the self-driving bikes than the automatic auto driving cars. Um, so that's quite interesting. That also, even in a world like this, it does. You can see basically you can do things like that. You basically can control the car, which is a valid thing. If you think about it, it's like a self-driving car connected to a network. So, if there's vulnerabilities, if you can find like a vulnerability in the car, it's perhaps possible, to give that car certain instructions like going right, going left, forward, backwards, or whatever, which does raise concerns. basically highlights the importance of cybersecurity in a world like this. Um, if you think, so the best case scenario would be that the police force is going to be divided. Like if you just think about Albion in this game, and then the police will be more on physical um, crime, like stealing things, murder, and whatever, and then you would have separate type of police force called the cyber security police. Because basically he's going to walk around, monitoring, the hot, the Wi-Fi access points. Um, they're going to monitor the drones. They're going to look for any suspicious activities related to cybersecurity. And you're going to have that specific people, forces like that, that's going to show up with the police in certain cases where there was like hacking activities, breaches, or anything related to cyber criminal activities. So it's really, really important. Another thing that I've heard they keep mentioning in this game is like, for example, Aiden he's considered like a vigilante hacker. Vigilante hackers are basically known as red hat hackers. Red hat hackers basically is hackers. They are considered like, doing the ethical thing. Well, they're not really. They believe, or they are basically trying to do the right thing, even if it means doing the right thing by breaking ethical standards and going the unethical way. So they will try to do the right thing by using a really aggressive tactics. So yeah, they will use aggressive tactics to do the right thing. And that's why they're called vigilantes. Then while I was like playing with one vigilante from the first game, Aiden Pierce, he was like walking, he's like just like saying, oh, this one guy is a white hat. White hat referring to an ethical hacker. He's like a cybersecurity ethical hacker. So it's like randomly just like walking around, and then it's just like this guy's a white hat. So they are fully saying that someone is a white hat, someone is a red hat, like a vigilante, and then probably the guy from Zero Day, he's probably a black hat hacker, a malicious hacker. No, he actually is, because he blew up stuff, and he's a hacker. So far that I know. Yeah, so yeah, so that's basically one of the things. They do talk about white hats, red hats. I haven't heard the term black hat before, but this is just my common knowledge. Quite interesting. Then sometimes when you scan people, you can see, the one is a video game designer. So you already know that it has an IT background. The one is then you would get some people like a software engineer. Someone is a pen tester, penetration tester. Like he's a little bit good in hacking. He has offensive capabilities. Penetration testing is considered offensive, and not really defensive. So that guy, if he's like a certified pen tester, already he has security background. He has all those certifications and things behind him. So he's a good candidate for being in your he's a good candidate being tested, because he's familiar with computers and he's probably a fast learner. staying up with technology, vulnerabilities, and
Interfering with
testing
alien
those
activities is
vulnerabilities.
considered a criminal offence.
It's quite interesting. Um, Sometimes when I like try to go into a certain area, like a gate, I can't go in there because I don't have the pin, and then I just like hack into the security camera, look around, then there's like a random tablet just laying there, and then I hack into the tablet, and then I get the access key, and then I just download the access key, transfer it to my phone or whatever, and then I get access to uh, the gate, whatever. So I did talk, they use, a lot of things like, like transmitters, receivers, databases, big data, all valid sources, operating systems, AIs, rootkits, cryptocurrencies. So yeah, um, just a little bit. I think the game does take it a little bit further, and they're doing some some things that I feel is a little bit over the top. Like guns that shoots it, and I don't know really know what it is. Like let's just use it like X-rays or whatever. I'm not quite sure what it's all about. They just shoot these projectiles or things that seems a little bit way out of this time frame. Like it's way too advanced. They have basically have a gun. If you shoot a person, it's considered non-lethal, but when you shoot a person, it basically, interrupts the communication, like maybe like an earphone or headphones. The one guy just like has earphones in his ear and then like shooting, and he just like randomly started screaming because he was probably making weird noises in his ear, hurting his ear. Oh, another thing is if you download some things, if you walk further away, it does have a range. So if you walk out of the range, then the downloading stops. Then it tells you basically you're out of range, which is kind of cool. So you're not receiving any data. So that's quite cool about it. The combat about this game, man, I like the combat. It feels like almost like karate, kung fu type life. Like really makes you really really feel like a secret agent or whatever. You know, um, the combat is great, and then the walking. I like even if you look at the walking, it's so like next level. How she swings her arms and I did her hair, got her some earrings, put on some makeup, got her shoes. Well, this is just my style that I like on a go or whatever, but they can basically do a lot of things. And then you also have these red areas of the game, which is basically either controlled by Albion or by a certain gang. It's called, it starts with a K. What is the gang's name again?
Wait, what was
I'm
that?
not, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what it. Wait, let me just see that guy's info. I'm not quite sure about the gang, but it will show me there. Clan Kelly. So yes, there's a clan called Clan Kelly. Um, and so far that we know that Albion, Clan Kelly, they maybe um, collaborate, or they're basically probably collaborating with Zero Day, um, which was that caused a few months ago caused the bombing at the parliament, and that's where that one guy basically died in that bombing. Um, and he was also on. There is also someone called the Men in Black. I'm not quite sure who they all haven't encountered them yet. The Men in Black. But the Men in Black showed up. Um, Zero Day showed up. And everything was just a big mess. Everything was just a mess.
The city operating system that's now powering all of London. For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does at this point, CTOS was first used in Chicago in 2014 and then San Francisco in 2017 before coming here to London. And every time it's been rolled out, it's been pretty much an unmitigated disaster.
For those of you who are listening who are lucky enough not to be here in London's chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecoms tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub, acting as part of the UK's television and communications network, although there's been some secrecy around its use, and now that Bloom owns it, it's only even more secret.
Yet now everything that's part of Bloom's city surveillance operation is run through the telecoms tower. And I have to say, it looks completely ridiculous. It's got that silly crown thing at the top and all the blue light.
What's that even about? What does it do? I don't see that there's any purpose to that at all.
It's a blight on the skyline, if you ask me, and it's become the main point of control for millions of people. The System Network and Bagley are both operated and streamed from there too.
And don't forget about the self-driving cars too.
I always thought they were just running on their own.
No, CTOS is the big control system behind the cars. There was a point back in the earliest days of self-driving car technology that they operated by themselves. They used to use a series of sensors to see the world around them. Radar, for instance, would look far off into the distance, while LiDAR would detect objects nearby. And while these cars still use some of this technology, Bloom CTOS and its detailed maps and data that it has on London really makes Bloom be able to take control of it. And CTOS can take control of your car if you're parked incorrectly. It's no surprise that it was made mandatory to have a self-driving car.
The system is so bad though, it's so annoying. Whenever I try to use one of the shareable self-driving cars, I always find myself stuck in traffic jams or roadblocks. Not to mention the accidents. I've heard so many stories of cars shunting into the back of others. I think they're worse than human drivers sometimes.
The technology was meant to make things better, but Bloom has made it so bad that it just makes London even more chaotic than it was before. I'm giving up on the cars. I'm only using the bikes, which are not self-driving at the moment, at least. And don't even get me started on the data. Everything that Bloom sees from your movements around the city and the self-driving cars is collected and feeds back into its big information control system.
Oh, not you and Bloom and privacy again. You're a broken record.
Not as broken as our city's cars.
So yeah, Dave here. They actually talked on the radio about the city operating system. They basically talked about it. You can hear the guy has concerns about, the cars being broken, the traffic jams. He basically talked about it, and then the woman is basically telling him, you're a little bit paranoid, or not paranoid, but a little bit, making things worse than they actually are. And then they did talk about, Bloom owning a tower, and then everything is basically controlled from that tower. So already early in the game, I have a suspicion that I will be ending up somewhere around that tower, probably inside of it, trying to either, I don't know, disabling anything like receivers or transmitters from there, doing anything with data or whatever. The Bagley, which is not the one that we're using a DateSec is using basically an altered, changed version of Bagley. But the Bagley that everyone else is using is basically controlled from that tower, owned by Bloom. They did actually mention a woman that was the reason behind I basically first introduced the concept of Bagley, and then I don't know what happened. She had a company whatever, what happened was it, did someone buy the project or whatever? Bloom probably bought the project, and then they incorporated the project into the city, combined it, you know, uh, with this, with everything else, So, yeah. So yeah, that's so far. There's another cryptocurrency. I'll be Lane Bank. Yeah, you do have. Wow, look where I am. Damn, I'm far away. Yeah, you do have fast travel capabilities. You can just fast travel back to your paycheck headquarters, or what do you wanna call it? Headquarters, bunker, um, hideout, whatever you wanna call it. Uh, what is this? Oh, it's drinking. I'm not gonna drink. I always see some people all here. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm probably going to end this stream right here. Um, I know I didn't do a lot in this stream. I was just basically talking. Um, but I think it was good that I did a stream just talking about everything we know so far about the game and opinions regarding the game. If it's valid topics, you have to understand it is a game, so there's some certain things about it is a little bit far-fetched, like having weapons that shoots, well, perhaps it's possible. You can't really say anything that's impossible. It's probably definitely is possible, but I just feel it's a little bit too advanced for now. I'm not quite sure about that. Yeah. So probably in the next stream, I am going to, let's just see if, let's see if I can actually, no I can't, but I'm trying to buy, as you can see I'm trying to buy this jacket here, for her because I like the jacket on her. I like it, this one, but I like it more, like, otherwise it's just gonna be too gold, and I like her hair, and it's like, hair's like that style. I like this type of hair. Looks neat. Um, gives off like, like old, um, Viking, um, type old ways vibe. I kind of like it. I don't know. I like the hair. It's like nice. It's really nice. Yeah. I wanna buy her. Um, I wanna try to get a views as well. Since you have to understand, she is kind of like, the secret, whatever. But I wanna get it. This kind of looks nice. Looks like, just looks elite. Not elite, but nice. Or anything, basically. Um, that's gonna stand out. Probably something gold or silver. Probably gold. Um, probably this. Probably this. Yeah, probably this. This or this. I don't really want any hats for her because I like the hair. The shoes, I have shoes, just like that. I didn't want these, doesn't look right. Something simple, simple but um, I can't really get glasses here. I probably would have loved to put it some, I just want to see glasses. But this, I like this Mason. This is a nice shop, especially for the women characters. Park and Son seems like a male vibe. Um, uh, London, no, not this one. That one, no. Glasses. Anything probably like this, I'll put on. Kind of makes it look. Ah, let's just see something else. Glasses. Let's see, there's glasses here. What did I have here? No, I don't like that really. No, that looks more like shooting sport glasses or whatever. That doesn't. Yeah, no. Glasses. What is this? This. Doesn't look bad. This doesn't look bad. This one, and I think it's this one, yeah. This doesn't also look bad on it. And probably I want to get a, like a handbag. Something more like this. This looks more a style for what I kinda like for her. Or this one, yeah, this one. Yeah, this one looks nice. Having a handbag like that seems to suit her, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm probably gonna pick that one. That one I should save. Don't want this, definitely not. Bags. Yeah, I'm gonna buy her this bag, yeah. This one looks nice. It's gonna look nice with the gold and has a little bit of gold and then a little bit of. It's gonna fit in, I guess. Oh, yeah. Shoes. I did have the option to basically, wait. I had an option where I could, do head tattoos and body tattoos, but I'm not really a fan of tattoos, especially on a woman. Especially tattoos in the face or on the head. Because it's just like why. Nail polish I did, that's quite nice. Makeup I did, that's nice. I'm not too, I'm not really a fan of piercings. Um, so they have like these weird piercings. Like look at this. Like who the hell wants that? Like even that. Like well, if someone has these, I'm not gonna judge anyone regarding it. It's just my taste. I don't like it. Something like like um like for example, that's fine in the nose. That one nose thingy there. That's fine. That can go. I don't really like any. I don't really like. The one in the nose just on the side is fine like that. Um, I'm not. Yeah, probably that can go, but I just don't like these ones. That goes like from the one side to the other side through the nose. Like I don't like that one at all. Um, these are like just like why? These why? I don't know. I'm not really too much of a fan of those. So I didn't put them on my character at all. Um, if you really do want to get a tattoo, especially if she wants to get a tattoo, anything, behind the wrist for me, it's fine. A tattoo on the wrist is fine, or, like a small tattoo on the back is also fine. But no, I don't like tattoos that's going to be on the legs, like on the calves or on the legs, or too big on the arms or in the face. Anything that that's open public, like in the public, like I don't really like that because I also see it as if you go like to a job interview and you go like this and you have like random tattoos on your calves or you have like big tattoos showing, then companies or people you're gonna work for is gonna look at that and like they probably gonna think like you don't have self-respect, but I don't know, but I don't like it, so probably they won't like it. For her, you can choose masks. I just choose. I chose like a simple, like a really simple mask for her. Not anything over the top. I chose like a really. Oh. Yeah, I chose something just simple, like a. Yeah, that's it. Before I actually do end the stream, just want to show on top here. Gonna exit here real quick. So I just wanna like this real quick. You do have like certain activities that you can do, like play darts, do niece of David.
Take a deep breath. Calm down, okay? You're making a scene. See? Great. Here we go.
I just want to see if there's anything else to mention.
Resisting arrest. Do you think you have what it takes? Visit an Albion recruitment station today and find out.
I don't think really there is anything else not to mention.
Do not accept packages from anyone you do not know. Criminals are waiting to prey on your kindness.
They'll never know what.
So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. and then I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue the stream in the next one, where we're gonna focus on playing the games and continue with the story, and then we're probably gonna do another stream like this where we're just gonna recap and talk about the game, giving as much content and a background and see how it fits into the real world. Like, we know, right? Actually, what I want to show is also, before I do end this, is, actually it's gonna be the next one. I'll see you in the next one.